shit is called Little Ghetto Nigga. Snap the J. Cole on the beat. My nigga does it all. Rap, dudes. Y'all niggas better catch up.
Yeah,
It's the come up.
let's bring it in.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is for my niggas in the struggle. Yeah, this is for my niggas in the struggle. Yeah, another perspective. Just another perspective. Yeah. Yo. Lifestyle of the young black and genius. Sun strapped with guns, packing jeans, and the blunts got my lungs black as Jesus. Yeah. Play with killers, hung at and slung crack for leisure. And tell a nigga run that, get gun clap for sneakers. Young niggas emulate what's coming out the speakers. So everything we learned came from rappers, not teachers.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Just got the Discord post up. What's good, Mikey? What's good, Unto? By the way, if y'all new to the stream, let me know where y'all from. Do y'all hoop? What y'all game like? And by the way, I'm answering as many questions as I can before we get into this breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Before we get started talking about the Celtics, this game one. You know what I'm saying? Everything that transpired. Drop any questions y'all got. And also make sure that y'all go ahead and join that Discord as well. Make sure y'all go ahead and join that Discord because this is about to be my last stream until next Wednesday. Yeah, probably next Wednesday. So make sure that y'all tuned into the Discord because that's where I answer all the questions that I send, or I answer all the questions off stream. Hold on. You said Asian growing up in Africa, 5'11" point guard. That's a crazy situation right there. That's a crazy situation right there, gang. Crazy situation. But Unto, you said I'm from Finland. I'm short as hell. Wait, how short we talking? Because what could be short to one person could be in comparison to professional players. So I could say I'm short. If I'm talking about NBA players, I'm talking about league players, you know what I'm saying? And even most of college, I'm low-key still am short. 5'6", 15. Yeah, I would not say on the tallest side, but you gotta work with what you got. Work with what you got. Maybe you won't grow anymore. Shit, you might not. But all I can tell you is though, I gotta say this about height too. Let me put a pause to this. I'm about to start cooking early because I gotta slide out in an hour 15 by like 3:05, 3:10. What's good, Bryce? What's good, Reuven? But I was gonna say, a thing a lot of hoopers get confused, right, when it comes down to height, is that they play too much into what if, what could be, but you never know what's going to happen. And so when you're building your skill set being 5'6" at 15, only think of yourself being 5'6" at 15, because if you try to anticipate yourself being 6 foot, right, be like, oh, I'm gonna have a growth spurt, I'm gonna be like this person or that person and get a growth spurt. If you do that, it's gonna fuck you up because it's not a definite if you will even get that tall. But what is a definite is that you're as tall as you are right now. And so even if you build a skill set according to you being 5'6", and even in the chances as to which you may grow more than you could even anticipate, all those same skills could still apply if you're taller. But if you anticipate yourself being taller and learn skills as if you're going to be taller and you don't grow, those same skills won't apply. And so when you build your skill set, think about yourself being exactly who you are right now. Think about that. Take that into account. Don't try to predict things that you just simply cannot control, right? The most you can control when it comes down to height is your nutrition, your routine, and like your little eating habits, your rest, recovery, and things like that. That's the most you could do. Aside from that, that's practically genetics. So, you said, for real, maybe next year I'll be in Houston. How are you going to get to Houston from Africa? How you about to get to Houston? You got connects? Where should I go try out in Houston college level? You said, I don't know where you could go try out, but your low-key best way to try out and expose yourself is to use social media and use the internet. Like, have film and be able to just send that out because you'll reach more people through this pocket satellite. Y'all don't realize we got a satellite in our pockets, right? There's a whole satellite in your pocket. You can reach anywhere in the world with this that you even watching me from right now, right? So you got to utilize this. And so when it comes down to who do you want to reach out to, X, Y, and Z, I do know one person in Houston. I do know one person in Houston. As a matter of fact, I just realized. I know Fred VanVleet's brother, who's his trainer. He trains out there in Houston. So if you really do want to train, you could probably look, hit him up if you do want training, because he does training for a bunch of people. But I don't know how exclusive he is. But his name is Joe Bucket Sensei on Instagram. I'm not sure if there's like an underscore in there somewhere, but you go there, search Joe Buckets, you probably find him if you really do want a trainer out there in Houston. But yeah, I would say utilize your phone. Utilize your phone. And however else you're getting there, like if you end up going to high school or you're trying to get into college is a tough thing, because that's really exclusive. Like, it's really tight knit. So for me, I don't really got those connects right now. I can say that. I'm supposed to score triple threat. When do I need to take one dribble because I barely have space to operate or dribble? So you said, when do I need to take one dribble? When do I need to take one dribble pull-ups because I barely have space to operate or dribble? So just following them, bet that. Yeah, bet that. So what you gonna call it? Going back to what you're saying with triple threat. If you don't have space in the triple threat, it's because it's your fault. It's your fault. And it's not your skill set fault, like, oh, I didn't build the right skills. You just didn't do what you need to do before you caught the ball. That's what y'all don't realize about the triple threat game. It's such a glorious thing, and I literally lived it out myself, because any gym I used to go to when I was still playing in high school, when I was going to college, for like that little short stint I was there, I couldn't dribble. But every time I caught the ball on a play, I would never be pressured. Why? Because I simply would bump in, nudge my defender, create some space, and get the catch. I will not be the person who runs up into space. I will be the person who bumps and creates space before I even get the ball. So now when I'm in the triple threat, I got space, and that space now gives me time, reduces the amount of pressure I got, so now I can read the floor and run whatever play it is that needs to be run. Right? I can make whatever read, or I can read whatever thing that needs to be read. Right? And so it all really just boils down to you, before you get the ball in the triple threat, creating your own space. And when you start seeing me doing like IRL stuff, like 1v1s and whatever going on in the future, you're going to see how like that shit is really just manipulative. And it's not that hard. You just have to actually do the action for it. Right? You just got to simply do it. You got to create your own space before you get the catch. And that's literally what I do most of the time. And that's what most of my game myself is built upon. Triple threat. Not even needing to take a dribble to go and score. Now, I could dribble now. I could dribble. Now I could dribble. Before I couldn't. But why even have to do all that dribbling shit when you could just catch, create some space, and shoot it over the top? Sounds easy to me. It's the easiest shit to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a catch and shoot jumper. Like, at that point, you just got to learn the pockets, got to learn the shot path. I done seen Kobe do that shit numerous times, AI numerous times, and like seeing guys like that, that's how you're actually able to be efficient. Those are really the easiest shots you could get on the perimeter. Easiest shots, unless you get in a wide open three, but that's not going to be often, right? Maybe swing threes could be fairly easy, maybe some relocation stuff, but you get that triple threat, create some space, catch, go up. Easiest shot, man. All y'all can do it too. It's just about, what's the word for it? It's about you got to look at the ratio, how you fare against your competition according to your own height versus the people you watch do it. So you got to also take that into account. Not Beastie said, am I cooked? I'm 6'1", going to my senior year. Didn't get playing time my junior year and nobody knows me. I mean, if you don't have the skill, now if you think you're just going to be able to walk in there and be able to take somebody's spot, if you have a couple, like a low amount of experience, of in-game organized experience, playing for a team, having teammates, knowing the people you're playing with, also you don't have that much skill, and like you're almost walking to there thinking that you should get it just because you're you and you're living life and you have some level of entitlement. It's not true. Life's going to show you that you're not entitled to anything. The only thing as to what you're entitled to is nothing. It all depends upon the work you put in and whatever you're able to get according to your work. And you're not there to determine what you should get and what you should not get. It's not up to you. You just got to put the work in and see what comes your way. So if you are cooked, I'll tell you will be cooked. If you don't have the skill, you don't have the experience, you haven't put the time in to get yourself better. But if you're already doing those things actively and doing it working way harder, way smarter, way more efficiently than all your competition, by the time that comes around, you may be able to find yourself a spot. Yo, what's good, Ricky? What's good? Flicks, you said, how's it going? It's going well. It's going swell. Ain't nothing to complain about. Today's going to be a short stream, by the way, because I got to slide out. I got to go get a cut. You know what I'm saying? I got to go get a cut. Low-key costs a little pretty penny, but you know what I'm saying? It's my guy. So I got to go slide out, get a cut. I'll probably be done on stream in like an hour. So make sure y'all get any questions y'all got in now, and if you don't get them now, make sure you join the Discord. So when I'm not able to stream until next Wednesday, I can still answer them in the time being. So make sure you go and join the Discord. Top of the chat. I don't know if it's in this direction. I don't know if it's that direction on your phone, or it fucking might be down here. Make sure you go hit the top of the chat, join the Discord. All you gotta do is solve a captcha. Just solve a captcha. It's free. Just join. A lot of gyms, workouts, everything dropping on there. Pat, you think this summer is enough to become a top tier shooting guard? I would be lying to you if I said it was. I'll be lying to you if I said it was. Now, it could be a case. It could be a scenario where there could be a couple things that aren't clicking quite for you at the moment, and then all it takes is a couple realizations, epiphanies, and you've put a shit ton of work in. You got the skill. Now it's about that translation. Then you could become like that guy, but I don't know what your scenario is. And I'll also say this, is that the growth to grow and improve in basketball, people will do so at different rates according to how precise they work, how efficient they're working, and just by their overall experience to the point of the present. So there's a lot of variables that you got to take into account. But what I would say is try not to put a timetable on you reaching a certain level and operate at your highest level right now. Instead of thinking, oh, by the end of the summer, I got to be the best shooting guard in my city, in my country, in my state, whatever it might be. I want you just to simply live your day-to-day life at the highest level you possibly can. Instead of trying to think about where you want to end up being, right? Instead of thinking so big picture all the time, that's probably going to build up anxiety within you. And so that's going to reduce your ability to maximize the present. And all the future is, all your long-term goals is an accumulation of bricks built within the present, so then you can get exactly to where you want to. But if you're always thinking about what you want to end up doing, you'll now get lost within the present, not be able to build the bricks in the present, so then you could be able to build the house that you need to, right? You can't build whatever it is you're trying to get to. So hopefully that helped. Try to, like I said, y'all got to do things day by day. You got to live at your highest level every day. I'm really nice, just don't have the in-game experience. Well, now you know what you need to do. You need that in-game experience. You need to learn how to apply it, because that's the only thing that matters in reality. Like a lot of hoopers want to get really good at 1v1s and all this other shit, but the only result that matters and will bring you some content, bring you joy, is you succeeding in that real organized 5-on-5 game, right? It may be pretty, it may be nice, it may be aesthetically pleasing for you to see all these hoopers do these one-on-ones, hit these crazy moves that take them from the top of the key to the corner, back to the top of the key. Then they take themselves to the dunker. Then they go to the left wing and get a bucket. It may look all pretty and shit, and you may want to add those moves so you can do it for yourself. But you got to really ask yourself, what matters? How well I play in a 1v1, where the greatest extent I could maximize playing one-on-ones may be being a YouTube hooper, and there's no knock to that at all, right? People be hooping, that's what they do. But if you're someone who's trying to play organized in an organized setting, right? If you want to play 5-on-5 for a college, you want to go pro, that's 5-on-5, not 1-on-1. Those are different things, right? So if you aspire to be one of the best 1-on-1 players on the planet, go ahead and do that. But if you want to be one of the best professional, organized 5-on-5 players, you got to work according to that. Not according to the 1-on-1s, work according to the 5-on-5s. Because the shit that you see that are done in a 1-on-1 cannot be done in a 5-on-5. And you got to apply a lot of filters when you do watch that 1-on-1. So it's best you be careful when you do watch it. And you got to make sure the things you're consuming, the things you're learning from, the people you learn from, the things you want to apply, be extremely careful of all that shit, because it could fuck up a lot of people's game. And like I said before, the real joy, the real, I don't even want to say satisfaction, because satisfaction implies complacency. I would just say joy, right? Just enjoying something. That comes from the results you get in that 5-on-5. You know, when you're playing with your team, you run these sets, you run these plays, 5. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual team setting. So you got to work according to that. I don't even know where that started, but yeah, the in-game experience. Have you posted ball handling workouts on Discord? Not yet. I'm about to. I'm going to. I just got everything like organized in there. So at this point, it's just a matter of me recording shit. Prab who ran, appreciate that sub. I look, he had these subs muted, but let me unmute them. It takes years to become elite. It does take time, but I can guarantee you, what happens with a lot of people when it comes down to improving in something, is that when they think of the amount of time it takes, you begin to think about what you have to give and not what you're going to get. But when you want to get great at something, you got to always keep your mind on what you're getting, do it, and realize and almost become blind to, almost become naive of some of the things that you have to give, so that you could operate according to what you're going to get. And you could sacrifice, you could be disciplined, you could be consistent, you could be efficient, and you could live the necessary lifestyle required for you to get that goal. So I don't like to emphasize the timetable of things, being like, yo, it's going to take 3 years. And now you're like, yo, these past 3 years, that's a long ass time. I don't know if I want to have to do this today and do that today. But when you just simplify things, when you think of it and what it should be, which is just the present, because that's the only real thing that exists, is the present. The past, can't do nothing about it. It's already happened. The future, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen. The only thing you really have is the present, right? And you know, and then there's that one quote that said, what is it? The right now is a gift. That's why it's called the present, right? And so when you really begin to understand that's all you have, you got to operate according to what it is now and what you're building towards. And not like, damn, I got to sacrifice this. I got to give up this. I got to give up that. You know what I'm saying? That's going to put you in a bad place mentally. If not, will you soon? Yeah, I'm going to soon. If I'm putting my time in off-ball movement, handles, and shooting. Off-ball movement, handles, and shooting. Off-ball movement. I mean, I think off-ball movement and shooting go hand in hand. And I would say to keep yourself as focused on a certain thing as you possibly can. Don't try to put too many of your eggs in too many baskets, right? Don't try to split them up in a whole bunch of places, because like I said, you got to master fundamentals. And I want to talk about the word fundamentals for a second, because someone asked something about fundamentals in the Discord earlier. I didn't get a chance to respond because I had to do a little bit of research first. Because fundamentals, when you hear the word fundamentals, it's so funny. It's hilarious. I may fuck around and talk about it right now, but when you hear the word fundamentals in basketball, that might be one of the most naive terms in the game, right? So like, really ask yourself, what are the fundamentals in basketball? What does it mean? And give a clear definition, right? But I want to go away from basketball for a second. I want to talk about the word fundamentals in itself. So in my little bit of research, right? Quick little research. All you need is Google, really, to understand certain things. Fundamentals is a root from the Latin word fundamentum. And fundamentum is the meaning of foundation. And so now you begin, when you think of the word foundation, you begin to think about the basic principles of a certain skill or of a certain thing, right? And so you think about how it must be built for then you to reach a certain level. And so in order for you to build your fundamentals, in order for you to master the fundamentals, it requires you to now go down to the most raw, the most basic level of that skill or whatever it might be. Work on that proficiently, get good at that, and then go to that next layer. Then add that next layer. Then add that next layer. And that's how you're able to build a foundation. So then you could be able to build up a certain skill. Like Stephen Curry's, his ability to shoot off all these sprints and all these curls did not just come off him going to the gym and doing a whole bunch of sprints and a whole bunch of curls off the rip. It came from him learning that basic shot, then learning how to take little cross steps into shots. Then after the cross steps, then I learned how to fully sprint into shots. Same shit with when it comes down to these other players. Like when they're younger, they're not out here, like James Harden was not probably 6 years old doing step backs, right? He done mastered how to shoot a stationary shot. Then he began to add little bits and more layers to shooting with movement. And then he was able to get to that point where it's like he mastered that already. But it gets a lot easier to master those more difficult skills once you do have the most basic principles of these others of that skill. So, what are fundamentals in basketball? Going back to what I was saying, what are fundamentals? You could just take anything, right? You could take shooting, you could take dribbling, you could take defense, you could take finishing, whatever it might be, right? And then you could just go to the most basic layer of that skill. So what's the most basic? How basic can shooting get, right? Let's talk about shooting. How basic can shooting get? Shooting right in front of the rim, form shooting, right? That's why it's something that you always do when you get into a gym, and it's something I always say you should do for a prolonged period of time so that you could be able to build the proper fundamentals. And now once you master that part, right? Once that shit becomes down packed, where all you know is perfect makes, all you know is switches. Now you can take steps back because now you're making it more difficult. And then you're moving on to the next layer, right? And now you got to go back a little more. Then once you get that, go back a little more. Then add the jump. And then after you get the jump in, then add the little movements. And then that's how you build the fundamentals. A lot of people want to go straight from the form shooting then to the more difficult stuff where you incorporate all these variables that make that shit hard to do. But you literally got to start from as basic as it gets, then add one variable. All right, adjust this next variable. All right, then adjust that next variable. Adjust that next variable. And it takes time, and that's why I say you got to enjoy the process. You know what I'm saying? You got to enjoy the process. So, you said not elite, just going to make the team. I want to be able to drop pickup people. What you mean drop pickup people? And mind you, also pickup games are different from real life games too. So also hopefully that little analogy of fundamentals made sense. I'm still probably gonna do some more homework, probably while I'm on the road going from where I'm about to head to for like the next few days. But I'm gonna do more and more research on that and put together a more formulated, established concept when it comes down to fundamentals. Maxi step back three. Maxi step back three is tough. It's because he goes fast as shit. So the defender's already going fast as shit, and he has great control of his body. So you're cooked. I used to dream picture my games and plays many times. You need to set real and small goals every day in order to improve. But first, you need to ask yourself if you love the game. First priority. Yeah, that too. You got to ask yourself why you're doing it. What's your motive? What's the motive to playing the game? Right? Why are you playing the game? Why? Like, what's the purpose behind it? What are you trying to get to? Got to ask yourself that. And I also want to recommend y'all this. I want to recommend y'all this book. I'm gonna recommend y'all this book right quick. Let me make sure my stream is solid. I just read this book in like 2 days, bro. Hold on. Where is this shit at? Is it in my room? I don't think it's in my room. Oh, it is here. It is here. If y'all want to read a good book, this book is great. This book is great. It's a quick ass book. It's like 94 pages. The pages are dumb small. Like, I got through it in like 3 days. So I really could have got through it in 1 to 2 days. But I split up my time to be able to, so I could compartmentalize things I need to know. But who moved my cheese? It's a quick little read. A lot of gems in here. A lot of gems. So, how do I get trained to get better at using my offhand? Using your offhand is a habit. So, when you get yourself to a point where a defender hand checks you, you now need to have the habit of swiping that hand check off, right? Or anything, yeah, but it's really just hand checks. Or maybe a pullback, right? So you say, boom, get into a stop, utilizing that off arm. That's a habit. So it's a movement. So you just got to get used to the movement in the situation. So it takes a lot of visualization, a lot of feel, right? So when you're doing your moves, actually feel and visualize a defender, and then using that off arm a little bit. Get into a stop, boom, utilizing that off arm, using the chicken wing a little bit, right? It just boils down to that. And then also when you go work out, I don't want you to even hyper focus on it, because when you do the individual work, and if you do visualize good enough, you should get there, and then it should kind of almost become natural. So, like master the fundamentals of the skill. So first, I'll say shooting. You first from shooting basic form, first alignment. Exactly. Like all fundamentals boils down to is going to the foundation, and the foundation is the most basic part of whatever skill it is. So, dribbling, how good is my pound dribble, right? And then y'all think, all right, if I gotta look, this is about to be crazy. Y'all probably don't even realize how you got to build the fundamentals to dribbling, right? So let's start here. I really should be something I take in my notes, but fuck, I'm gonna just do it now. I'm gonna take y'all through my thought and like what I do when I'm just sitting by myself learning. So pound dribble, all right. The most basic thing you can do in basketball is a pound dribble. But what happens when you master this pound dribble? You now got to learn how to pound dribble at different strengths, different speeds, right? At the same height. So it could be hip high, you could be with your base, you know what I'm saying, getting around your hip. But how good is your pound dribble when you get to around that knee level, right? Can you do that at a consistent speed? Can you do that at a consistent force? And how well are you able to change that speed and change that force as well, so then you can go from a quick pound to then a relaxed pound, and then quick and then relax, and be able to change the speed of that. Then after you got that with the pound dribble, how well are you able to change the level of the dribble along with the speed and the force of that dribble, right? And that's just for the pound dribble, right? How well are you able to do that? Be able to change that speed, and then once you even add in the speed, add in the height, level, and height changes, level changes, all that. All right, how well can you do that and move at the same time? How well can you do that and move at the same time? How you running and having that pound and trying to get somewhere and changing that level of the dribble and then changing the speed at a certain point in time and be able to start and stop just out that pound dribble in itself? How well are you able to do that? And we still have not even got to a crossover between the legs, right? We have not got to a crossover between the legs thus far. This is all just a pound dribble. Just a pound dribble. All right, what are we going to do after you get the pound dribble? All right, let's try in and out. What are we going to do with in and out? All right, boom. Maybe, or is it even in and out next? You can do in and out, you go crossover, whatever, but that's literally just for the pound dribble. And I'd literally have to layer that like completely, like I would have to write all that shit out, because the way my mind is flowing right now, I could if I turn my stream off and I open my notebook, but I need to think about it more. I need to learn about it more before I even tell y'all. But I know that first level about it though is right, it's solid, it's on point. Let me put my phone on D. Oh, my phone is on D&D. I don't know, my phone was buzzing, but let me see. Then you can go to shooting off the curl. I wouldn't say curl. I'll say cross step. Cross steps are the level one, the first layer before you get into the first layer before you get into curls. If you don't know what a cross step is, it's like you're standing here, 1, 2. That cross step, like you're standing stationary, 1, 2. Same exact footwork, you're just not sprinting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to tell y'all, I know so many levels to certain shit. Once you stretch morning, night, after workout, before I do a dynamic stretch before I work out, and then maybe at night I'll do a stretch. Like I'll do a little like some light static stretching, and then maybe some like light mobility stuff, like every now and then. I've low-key got consistent with it. Like I'll do a stretch before I go to sleep, like not right before I go to sleep, but like maybe an hour and a half before, like after I eat my dinner, or I would use my massage gun, and then as my like little nighttime recovery ish, you know what I'm saying? Use your offhand off the court as well. Yeah, that helps with like motor, like your actual motor. When you start lifting, I started lifting probably like my sophomore year, maybe the end of my freshman year, not end of my freshman year, just out of like being with the basketball team. Oh, we're going to go in the weight room type shit. And then maybe like my sophomore year when I was like, all right, let me actually kind of figure this out. Like, what do I actually do when I get here? So that was probably when I started. How can I blow by defenders with not a lot of dribbles apart from triple threat tactics? Read space. See where you got space, and space is going to show you the gaps and how much room you have to be able to get from A to B. Instead of reading your defender, a lot of people think I got to read who's in front of me. You got to read the floor. And then usually what it's going to be is that you're going to get past them if you know where the space is and what gaps you have. And when you operate with where you want to get to and not where you're at, you're able to get so many more places. That's a gem. Hold on. That's a gem. I just realized that's a gem. That's a gem. I don't think I probably went through a lot of y'all ears, went in one ear, out the other, but realize what I said, right? It's the same concept in life. You just see it on the basketball floor, right? So the reason a lot of y'all can't get past defenders is because you're always worried about where you're at instead of where you want to go. And where you're at on a basketball floor is directly who's in front of you. How are they guarding you? How is this place? How is that place? Where are they looking at? How are this positioned? But if you begin to look beyond your defender, you'll not only also be able to see who's in front of you and what they're doing, you'll see where you're able to get to. And when you operate according to the law of intention, now you're able to get to where you want. instead of being stuck where you are and not realize where you're going. Life concepts lie within basketball, bro. Y'all gotta really understand. You gotta really understand, man. You gotta know the law of intention. Where are you gonna set your mind to, and how are you gonna operate according to where you want to get to, and not just where you are. You know what I'm saying? When you're able to operate according to the laws of the universe, you become a different man. You really do become wise. So, I think boom. How can I get body control like Maxey to burst through defenders 0 to... The thing is, you could be like, yo, how do I get like Maxey, bro? He has the genetics, man. He has the genetics, bro. He has the genetics. Because a lot of people are good at starting and stopping, but Maxey, his start is a fucking dart. Like, he's gone out of there. Like, he's gone out of there, bro. It's just tough. So it's like I can't really tell you could do it like Maxey. It's admirable, right? A lot of this shit league players do is admirable, but being the fan, you got to understand a lot of this shit is just not replicable for who you are, because they got the genetics, they got the height, they got a lot of things that's already in their favor. Not to say that some of those things can't be developed for yourself, but to the extent and the exact ways to which they do it, you will not be able to do so, because we're all made to be unique. We're all made to be unique. We're supposed to be different. So I stretch before I work out, not when I wake up or some shit. It's not like, because all stretching does is, for a short period of time, it lengthens your muscle, right? And then after like 5 to 10 minutes, like research even showed it, like in studies, it will go back to the length that it was before. Like, that's why you'll feel good for like, all right, for 10 minutes, and then you'll go back and sit down. And really, from a physiological standpoint, from a muscular standpoint, it did really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some stimulation, some blood flow, but that's it. You know? So that's why when you work out, you want to stretch before, so you get that blood flow and get some of the synovial fluid to your joints, so now you could be able to actually work out, be able to move, flow, and feel good. I'm trying to adapt a game was able to, but I can't finish. Like, that's what, same thing like I said before. It's admirable, but I don't know if it's replicable, man. Tessero, what's good? How can I develop a killer mindset? Killer mindset in basketball requires a killer lifestyle. Like, it's something you got to live and abide by. Where it's almost like, it's like something that pops up to mind. A quote that pops into mind is, strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it, from Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man, I forgot which movie, which one it was, but it was one of the older joints, where you gotta have the fortitude and you gotta have the will mentally to be able to go and take whatever it is that you want. And so the killer mentality really boils down to you having that willpower, right? But a lot of people aren't able to develop that willpower because they lack the ability to control their own mind, to control their own thought, right? So now you're like, I want to get this, but if you're a person who does not even control, who's not able to control their own thought, now you're going to always operate according to your wants. And a lot of the time, your wants are going to be things that aren't going to lead directly to your goals. There's going to be a lot of distractions. And also your wants are a feeling. It's an emotion. So it's going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to go right, it's going to go left. So if you operate according to wants and not always according to your needs, and when you operate according to needs, you utilize logic, and that's the left side of your brain and not the right side that deals with emotion, then you could actually develop a killer mindset and manufacture the mind that you want, manufacture the life that you want, materialize the dreams that you dream. So it boils down to being able to control this in the direction of becoming that killer, in a sense, right? Having that mindset of taking whatever it is that you want and getting it, right? And having the willpower. So am I working out on mid-range flow for contested paints? To steal his ISO bag? Bro, this thing is like, you're too worried about the wrong thing right now, Ricky. You're talking about ISO bags and blowing past defenders when there's so much more to basketball than ISOs and blowing past people. Like, it's not, there's so much more to that. Like, do you even know how to maximize setting a screen so you can get open so then you can get a teammate open and then force two on the ball and get yourself open? Do you know how to properly cut? Do you know how to properly run your lane in transition so you can get an easy layup? Do you know how to score according to the fundamentals of scoring, the most basic levels of scoring? Do you even know that stuff before you're talking about ISO bags and all this other shit? Because those players who even do those ISOs, I don't even think you know how they're processing the game so they know how to ISO efficiently. And then the necessary, what you need mentally, that you're essentially how you process the game, your processing capacity has to grow to such a great extent if you want to be able to do those things. But it only starts when you learn the fundamentals of just playing the game. Not even about the skills, just playing the game. Like the basic shit. You always see a lot of people skipping steps, but it's just a blood honest truth. Always worried about the blow-bys and the bag and the mid-range and the pull. Like, there's so much other shit you got to learn before that, man. There's so much other shit. And it's just like, you worried about the 10% when there's 90, right? Even if you do get really good at this 10%, you got 10%. It's a F. You failed. You failed already. You didn't do all this 90% shit that you already need to do. Because let's look at it like this, right? Let me boil it down to percentage points. Basketball is 50-50. 50% offense, 50% defense. Y'all don't come here and ask questions about defense, so we could take away that other 50%, right? So you're probably underperforming on defense. So 0 out of 50 immediately. F. And now when we're playing offense, there's only 5 people in one basketball. So by the odds, you'll have the ball 20% of the time, right? And so now 20% of that, exactly the 100%, it's not 20, it's 10% because the other 50 is for defense, right? 10% of the time you have the basketball in your hand. And so now at this point, even if you do maximize the ball being in your hands the absolute most, and you do get some extra points just because you're really efficient with the ball in your hand, maybe you get 20%, you got a 20 out of 100. 20 out of 100. Percentage points. We played a game of basketball. When you really do want to have results that translate, you got to think about what you're actually doing when you're on the floor. You got to think about what you're actually doing and not the things you want to do. Because even the shit that you want to do, if you do actually work on those fundamentals and build, you'll be forced to then get that at some point in time. So there's so much more shit to it, though. You think Tatum imagining himself as Kobe is holding back his game? Is he more suited to be a slasher? I think Tatum he should operate more in that sense of like Kobe being in that mid post and that mid range. I think that's one thing he should do more, and I've seen he did do more of in this game. But I wouldn't say necessarily that he should be more of a slasher, because he definitely does have the height and the skill to be able to operate in that mid range, back to the basket, in the triple threat. It just comes down to him having the mentality of playing that deep inside and being physical. Is there any way to get better at putting defenders in jail after pick and roll like Trae Young does, or is it just strength? It's positioning and its angles. It has nothing to do with strength. Because if if you said it's strength, putting someone in jail, you sound like a goddamn police officer shoving somebody in the cell. That's strength. But we talking about putting 2 different people in 2 different types of jail. We talking putting 2 different people in 2 different types of jail. You know what I'm saying? It boils down. It doesn't matter about strength. It matters about positioning and your angles. Who you got winning tonight? I got Minnesota taking game 1. I got Minnesota tonight. I think they definitely gonna take this one. Do you got anything you can do to improve your finishing? I would say the best thing you can do to improve your finishing, I would say, is to begin to work on finishes that just challenge you. Finishes that challenge you, but aren't far off from what you're actually going to do. I'll say that. And mind you, I've been working out the past few days. I've been hooping. I've been working on my finger roll. Oh my gosh, I figured that shit out. I figured out that, bro, I always thought finger rolls are the toughest shit to do. But then I'm like, I ended up realizing I found myself getting to the paint a lot of times just being low. And it's like, all right, I need to get that shit up quick, up over the top. And sometimes you don't have the chance to get that shit underneath, right? Get your whole hand underneath the ball and get into a float. Quick underhand, little finger roll. And I was like, dog, this shit is tough. How do you flick it? Like, what's the touch you got to put on it? But I realized it's just like you can't even follow through with it. You follow through with it, it's going to go right back at you because the hand's going backwards, right? It's just like a little touch up. Like, it's weird, but I've been working on it though. It should have been tough though. I got to still, but I still got to work on my physical ability for explosiveness. I mean, to what extent? How focused are you on working on your explosiveness? How focused are you? Because you may be taking shit away from yourself. And by the way, we about to start this breakdown because, like I said, I got to slide in about 30 minutes. So I got this. Let me get this shit open. You're probably gonna get started in the next few minutes, but the thing is, like, I see the word bag, and me and y'all see the word bag differently. I just simply see the word as the facets you're able to score. So me being able to get a handoff and then stare someone down and shoot it, that's a bag. But a lot of people think a bag requires, your bag needs to be filled. Come on, man. Hold on. We about to cook right quick. Before I even get to this breakdown, bro. Y'all get this shit confused, bro. All y'all hoopers want to have a bag, but your bag doesn't need to be filled to the very top. And by you trying to fill your bag to the very top with every move that there is, because there's no size capacity to your bag. Y'all just think I need to throw everything in it. I just need to throw everything in it. Any move, step back, give me that. Pull up, give me that. Pump fake, step through, step back, give me that. I need all of it. But there's no size capacity to it. And so now y'all think the shit that you need to get is infinite. Y'all begin to think I need everything. Everything that there is, I need to be able to do it. But in reality, you don't got to fill your shit up to the top. You don't got to fill your shit up to the top. You don't need to. You just got to get a couple things that work according to your game, and that's it. That's it. You don't got to be able to do every single thing. You just need to do the shit that's effective for you and your game. That's all it is. So learn how to just play the game as the game should be played within the course of an offense. How do I get a better left hand? Use your left hand more, not just when playing basketball, but when you do everything. When you do anything, just use your left hand, because that improves your ability just to control the muscles. Let me get this posted on the story though. All right, quick. Let me get this posted on the story. Boom. Let me go here. Let me get this up right quick. I'm gonna answer all these questions after I get this post. Boom. Give me 1 second. Get here. Get that. Get that. Get that. Get that. Get that. And hold on, let me get this. Let me get this. Let me get this. And then from there, I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to go there. Then I'm going to go there. Then I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to go there. And by the way, I also got Minnesota for the series. I got Minnesota for the chip. I got Minnesota for the chip. Let me go here too. All right, boom. Hey, Hassan, you don't need to say too much more because I got those clips. Bro. I got the clips. You know I got to get those clips. You know I had to see those step throughs, man. You should have a goal amount of points you want to get in a game, like going for 20 points. No. I mean, the thing is, when you do that, you begin to play selfish. You don't allow the game to come to you. You try to go to the game. But the thing is, now we got to talk about laws of the universe once again, right? We could begin to talk about the law of attraction, right? And so the law of attraction means when you operate in a way according to yourself, the things that you want to get will now come to you. Whereas if you now try to chase instead of attract, what you chase you can't catch up to, right? And so if every game you go and set a score limit, you say, okay, I got to go get 20. It's going to be hard. If you may get that point total, but in terms of actually getting what you want, which is the looks and that the ability to show your ability to actually play the game for a team, you won't have that, right? You won't have that because you're always trying to play the game for yourself. And eventually, it's going to backfire on you because you don't know how to play within the system, within this team. Because all you've ever been doing is chasing points. And so instead of trying to go and chase buckets, attract the buckets by just doing what you need to at your highest level at every moment. So whenever you do get your chance within the play, whenever you do see opportunity to attack, whenever you do see something that you see but that not many other people see, go ahead and do that and make that play. You got to operate according to the flow of the game. And then once you're able to play into that flow, once you let the game come to you, right? Game come to you, that's attraction. But when you don't allow the game to come to you, you try to go to the game, that's chase, right? So that's that chase versus attraction. You got to attract the game. You got to just attract the game. Play the game as it should be played. How do you play effectively and smart? You play, you work on the things you need to work on and the looks you're going to get in the game and not according to what you want to get. So really think about your team. I want to tell you this, Cherry. Just think about your team. Think about the plays you run. Think about the opportunities you get and live according to that. So remember, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Indeed. I'm really about to just drop real knowledge and real concepts that are go beyond basketball when it comes down to this. So y'all can really understand that it's not just basketball you're playing. You're playing the game of life. Playing the game of life we're talking about. And basketball is just a little part of that. Just like a tiny portion of it. So we about to get started though. Forgot the Discord post. Give me 1 second. Breakdown starting now. Get that there. By the way, join the Discord if you haven't joined Discord already. That's where I'm gonna answer all my questions while I'm not able to stream for like the next week or so. So let's get it. So first things first, let's go here. Hold on, my shit lagging? Oh, my shit shouldn't be lagging no more. That was a little while ago. Okay. That was at the start of the stream I was lagging. But we should be straight now. You should do a whole stream where you just talk about that would be hard. About concepts and ideas. I'm gonna just do it like every stream. I just have to grow in my own knowledge. Like I can't really bring anything to light or any concepts that I don't fully abide by or like know fully myself. So I would say I just got to learn more. As I learn more and more, I'll bring back more and more. So it's just about me growing wise myself. So I just got to make sure my habits are sharp all day, every day. So I want y'all to peep this too, though. And by the way, hold on. Camden said how to play good off the ball. It's a very broad question, but I would say learn how to space the floor. Learning how to space the floor, deep corners, free throw line extended, and then if you're not there, it could be top of the key, it could be dunker spot. Learning how to space the floor, and then also you got to learn how to move according to where your teammates move and like being able to set off ball screens as well. So like, I don't want to get too far into it because I don't got too much time, but we got to get busy. So I'll tell you this though. See opportunities to cut. If someone doubles, go cut, get a two. And then also set off ball screens just so you can help defenses engaged off the ball and they can't just sit and stack up. So let's get to this breakdown though. This first play is not having anything to do necessarily with offense, but it's about Aaron Nesmith, bro. This is low-key hilarious. If y'all watch the game, you probably have seen this play. It was dumb sorry. So this is the Pacers and Aaron Nesmith's first Eastern Conference Finals, right? First play of the game. He throws it over the top. He turns the ball over. And now he picks the ball up on Tatum. He's like, shit. I got to go get this shit back. I just turned the ball over. Damn. And he got dunked on. So welcome to the goddamn conference finals, my boy. Welcome to the conference finals. You got a turnover. You got dunked on the first 2 plays of the game. And that's as worse as it could get. That's the worst it could get, man. The worst it could possibly get. That's kind of sad, man. So you got to build getting effective buckets. Get actual real offensive systematic buckets. Like the ones you actually see in the game, man. The ones you see. Because as you know now, as you've seen thus far, thinking in the ways of playing ISO, playing 1v1 has not worked for you. So it's going to require change. It's going to require change. So now, are you going to listen to that change? And now, we need to spit some game. So Pete, this with Derek White. This is where everybody get busy. This is all Boston offense. All Boston offense. So pay attention. Watch Derek White's patience, right? This would allows a actual ball screen, a pick and roll to work, right? Actually, I want to look at the clock as well. Let's track the clock, right? Let's track the clock. So notice Derek White crosses half court. He's got the ball. 18 seconds, right? Al Horford gonna set this drag screen. Watch what Derek White does. Watch what he does. Stays in the same spot, continues to move further down because who's his defender? Tyrese Halliburton. And that's really the most important thing you got to understand, right? Most important thing you got to understand. So I got to go back this one more time so I can drop this one more concept, right? Last time y'all going to see this play. So pay attention. So the way and the pace that you play at could be determined by the defender that you have in front of you. And so with White having Halliburton on him, you know Halliburton as a defender, right? He's going to be chilling. He's not going to be doing nothing crazy. He's not going to try to aggravate you. He's not going to be aggressive. He's just going to stay in front. He's going to do his job as a defender, right? Whereas a Drew Holiday or someone like that, they're going to try to dictate you and lead you to where they want and not going to allow you to go where you want to. So in a situation like this, Derek White just walks down, right? He just turns back, walks down, waits for Horford. And this gives Horford the perfect angle to then clip Halliburton. So now he's able to get into the middle of the floor, pull in two, throw that back to Horford. Horford's able to get that three. 12-0 start for Boston. And this is how they should dominate the series if they don't take their foot off the gas. Yo, what's good, Cap? You know what's hilarious, Cap? It's been a fat minute. But Shisu popped up in last stream, and he was like, yo, what happened to Cap? I was like, I don't know, man. Add him in the Discord. And then, boom, you pop up the second we watching the Indiana Pacers. But thing is, we're not going to peep too much of the Pacers. So peep this, though. Peep this. I got to get through this because, like I said, I got to slide. So pay attention. So you seen Derek White learn how to utilize a screen as a ball handler. Watch what he's about to do as a screener now, right? All y'all guards got to understand this. If you want to get open yourself, you got to set a good screen. And by him holding off Toppin and now bringing JB to TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin pinches in. White moves over left, and he gets an open three. If you play a game that's unselfish, the ball is going to end up back into your hands. It's just a matter of time. And it's a matter of your intention. You got to just play the game the right way, and you're going to be able to get buckets. And I also want to talk about this. I want to talk about Tatum in their ability. They're playing 5 out, and how Tatum is actually not playing so scared. So pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. So with the amount of gravity Tatum has, especially in a matchup where he has Shepherd on him, you've got to play downhill. Now, if you playing out on the perimeter doing them little size ups like you like to be doing them twitches and them step backs, you're going to lose. You may damn near make the series go 7. But since Tatum has now decided to be a screener, and when he screens, he's actually going to seek to get into the paint and do things like this, which is I got Turner stepping over and I seek the foul. That's when Tatum's going to be at his best because he's not so he doesn't rely so much on the threes. Instead, he's using his size so then he could actually get downhill and put pressure on the rim. And I want y'all to pay attention to this. Pay attention. So, you seen that play work the first time? Run this shit right back, right? Let's run it right back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But this time, it is broke, right? We don't get that to Tatum. And now I want you to peep the spacing, right? Because the Boston Celtics, they play a 5 out. And now a lot of times in a 5 out, at all levels, there may be that one person who cannot shoot. And so what's their responsibility going to be when they are one of the people that are on the outside? They got to begin to do things like this. Instead of trying to play into the game and shoot these shots, we get into these handoffs because the person that comes off is going to see absolutely nobody most of the time. And now, in all situations, I need y'all to understand. You got Cornette here once again, Turner in the paint, kick it to Cornette, get into a handoff. This immediately puts a lot of pressure on Toppin because he's behind the play. He's not in proper defensive positioning, being in front of Jaylen Brown. So this whole time, he's practically in recovery. Even though he does get back in front here, Jaylen Brown is still able to get to his spot in the middle because he opened it up to start. Now, that was the second time. You see it with White You seen it with Jaylen Brown. Now notice right here with Jayson Tatum. This is where Tatum should actually take those threes, right? And not the size up threes or step back threes and side steps in the playoffs. I'm talking about these ones is the ones he needs to take. Because you got to drop here with Turner, 5 out. You pitch that over, set the screen here, you go under. Those are the threes he's got to build his rhythm with. And then after that, you probably into a flow to where those step backs may work from time to time. So those people in the 5 out, that person who can't shoot in the 5 out, they got to make sure that anytime they catch and they know they can't shoot, turn it for a handoff, turn, pitch, and screen. The best way you can maximize that 5 out offense. Let's get back to it. I only play basketball as a hobby anymore. Haven't more for doing it that way. Not gonna lie, that's what it should. That's what it is for a lot of people though. It doesn't always got to be something that's like be something completely like serious and professional and anything like that. That's what's meant to be for some people. It's just that a lot of people want to compare and want to be in positions that other people are in, and so now they decide to partake on the journey and think they had to become LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much more to life than just basketball. So pay attention now, right? Pay attention. A lot of y'all don't realize you don't need to use 10 moves so you can score on one person. Because watch Jaylen Brown, right? He comes off the screen. He's got Miles Turner, pump fake, step through to that right side. First time, right? Now he's got Miles Turner again, left side of the floor, right? I got a mismatch. I go left. I stop, pump fake, step through. Once again, second time. You think 2 times, all right, maybe it was just a couple times it worked. I now go to this right side, pump fake, low-key travel my ass off, but that's the reason he missed this last one. And so certain defenders just never learn, and it's up to you now to maximize that exactly, and not always try to do something new. Turner be annoying you? Pay attention to TJ McConnell, though. I got to show one thing about y'all Pacers, though. I got to show one thing about these Pacers, so pay attention. 8 seconds left on the clock. Tatum got the rock. And now pay attention to TJ McConnell in the situation. Tatum's got 2 screens going to the right, so McConnell now has to tag on Jrue Holiday. But notice what Tatum's going to do, right, with the ball. He brings the ball out to the side and loads it up with one hand. So TJ McConnell knows he's not going to throw this down to Jrue Holiday, and so he decides to go and jump that lane. High IQ as a defensive player. Being able to read movements and know where the ball is going to go and jumping out according to it. By knowing the action that someone did. Because where anticipation goes wrong is when a player is making a read, they're making a look, and they're able to do multiple things out that one look. But what happened in a situation like this is that all he could do at that point in time was skip that over to the corner because TJ McConnell knew he tagged and he knew that corner man was the one that was open. Playing smart. But now pay attention to this. Hold on, I gotta talk about Payne Pritchard. Give me one sec. I'm gonna use a word I don't like to use, but fuck it. I just need to get the concept across to y'all head. So, pay attention. If y'all want to be able to get into your bag in a real game, watch Payne Pritchard, right? He gets his ATL ran for him, left wing, he got the shot, bucket. First 3 from that left wing. They in transition, running along that left side, pulls up, got the catch, bucket. And now after hitting 2 threes back to back, I now got TJ McConnell, and guess what this is? This is white on white crime, right? Let's get busy. And all I do when I want to get into my bag, hard drive right, pull back, and I get my bucket. I don't even got to do a lot of shit for me to be able to go and score when I do get an isolation situation. Hard drive, stop, shot. That simple. And I want to talk about another concept right quick, right? Notice Payne Pritchard's chest. Watch his frame, right? Notice. When Payne Pritchard attacks and he gets to the stop, look at his chest. His chest is still up. And now this is the most important part and one of the most underrated parts of basketball, which is posture. If you have bad posture, if you're always making stops and you're like this, right? Your chest is hunched over, your back doesn't have good posture, your ability to find balance when you get up is going to be extremely difficult because you now got to rise all the way up like this. But if you're able to keep that chest up, you have good postural stability, then you can be able to make moves like this and be able to get your shot off and be balanced. Most important part. And now peep Jayson Tatum. So Boston did a great job of utilizing Tatum's gravity because, Nesmith, he's told to stay attached. He's not tagging for anybody. He's not giving Tatum no room. So when Tatum decides to set this cross screen for Horford, he's not going to tag, and that now leaves Shepherd to go and tag. But now that tag is way too late. He ain't processed the action, gets called for that foul right there and then. Utilizing his gravity. Key. Vital. That's big time. Leads to a lot of easy buckets. And Tatum's about to make this bucket even easier because he understands spacing. So pay attention, right? Pay attention. So you got this little Spain pick and roll. Jaylen Brown about to slip out. He's got Obi topping. He goes to his left side and spins back here, turns his back. But now he's got blind spots, right? That blind spot is what's behind his back and Peyton Pritchard being in that corner. And he knows he's there. He can't read him. So he's got to pick that up and give it up. But give it up so I can get it back. And now once I get this catch, I got no more blind spots. I move Peyton Pritchard up to the top. He's on the wing. And now when I even get this catch, I'm going to go away from the help. And I'm going to spin towards his baseline because that's where I got space. I'm not moving and operating according to what I want to do. I'm seeing what the defense gives in the room that I have. That's how players are able to get from A to B. That's how they're able to do it. And now I want to talk about this from a hooper's perspective. I want to talk about hoopers, right? Hey, I got to speed this up for a second as well. Obi was getting cooked all game. Obi was getting cooked, but he was getting his shit off, though. He was getting some shit off. I think he had like 13 or 16 points or some shit. He was getting cooked, but he got a few buckets himself. But pay attention, right? Pay attention. All y'all want to be the me-mate on the team. Not the teammate, the me-mate. Watch Tyrese Halliburton. Watch. He right here gets this light left hand. Boom, right there gets that bucket. 40 seconds later, 30 seconds later-ish, right? Now he goes to his right side. Stop. Boom. Cross. Step back. Boom. Another bucket. All that in about the first minute 17 of the third quarter. But now we come down 2 possessions later. He gives us up to Turner. And what does Turner decide to do? He's the me-mate, not the teammate. The me-mate. Everything about me. I got to go get my bucket. I got to get mine. You know what I'm saying? You had your turn. Now it's my turn. And notice what he cooks up. Notice what he cook up. Tough work. That's tough right there. That's tough right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give the shit right back to him. Let him cook. He hot. He getting busy. He hit a layup, then he hit that tough-ass 3. Get right back to him. If you're not going to score, at least utilize his gravity to make that shit easier for yourself. At least. Who do you have winning the chip? I got Minnesota, Cap. I got Minnesota. Now pay attention to Tatum. Notice, right? This is the Jayson Tatum that's not playing soft. That's playing according to his strength, his length, and his talent, right? He sets his back screen on Derek White, right? He gets Nembhard on him. So now he got the catch. And now not having Nesmith, having Nembhard, I'm not going to utilize my size and my height. And pay attention, right? Pay attention to this. This is really the main concept. Forget the switching shit, right? Forget the really switching stuff, right? So Tatum gets Nesmith off of him. Now he got Nembhard. Pay attention to what he does in the triple threat because a lot of y'all don't understand this, right? A lot of times to create space, you don't need a dribble. All you need to do is take a step because just by occupying space, you create space. And that requires no dribble. So now he brings that foot back and has all that space, about that 2 feet he created by just stepping into Nembhard, and now he's able to give me Nembhard. And now even when I get Nembhard, I'm not going to play face up. I'm not going to do none of the size up shit. Turn my back. I'm going to use my shoulder because you're just too small. And I really want y'all to understand how Tatum is taking advantage of Nembhard right now because it's going to bring context to how he's going to attack him later on in the game. I want y'all just to remember that. Now, once again, Tatum's gravity. So understand, Indiana, whoever's guarding Tatum, is told to stay attached. So now in a situation where off an inbound, you hand the ball off, Shepard's like, shit, now we got to switch Halliburton here, and I'm stepping over, and I'm a little late. Opens all the room for White to be able to get to where he needs to. Show that high, dump off the cornet. He's unlucky enough to not get that and one. That's tough. Utilizing Tatum's gravity is one thing they did great throughout this game. And Tatum, once again, about to make another smart play. Cap, you're trolling, Cap. Cap, you're trolling. Cap, you're trolling, bro. You're trolling. I didn't know you became a troll once you left. Like you don't went AFK and then you became a troll. You became a troll. But peep this with Tatum. So notice, Tatum off the rebound, right? They playing in transition. Watch what Tatum does. He calls for the screen for Cornet, and that's a really smart screen because guess who you have now taken out the paint? Also, their shot blocker, Miles Turner. So what do I do now? Instead of meeting him on the right, reject, I go to my left. And even once I get here, show that ball high on my first step, get Tyrese Halliburton to jump, Neesmith to jump, they swipe down, and I get an and one. I eliminated the contest from Turner by calling for the screen, and I eliminated any contest at the rim by showing the ball early. Playing too smart, bro. Playing too smart. Another angle, just in case you ain't see it from the other side. Reject, I got away from Turner. I got to his left side. Notice this first step, show high. He jumps, Neesmith jump. So now he tries to swipe down. He gets hit. Foul and when you get that bucket. It's tough. Tough work right here. Tough work. And I watched Drew Holiday. This is right. This is the stuff I be trying to tell y'all to understand. Right. All y'all want to develop a bag, but don't even know how to score an opportunity like this. Watch Drew Holiday. He's got Halliburton. He puts his hands on him. Y'all don't even know how to use a swim move to get it back door and get it easy too. But yeah, y'all want to learn how to do a step back, a side step, a double tween into a spin, into a half spin, hezzy shimmy, and then get into a fade. Like all this extra shit. Y'all don't even know how to do a backdoor. Don't even know how to do a swim move, man. Can get you 2 points like this. You don't gotta exert hardly any energy, bro. Like this, I tell you, shit'll get you 2 points. And I'll pay attention. Pay attention. So, notice here with Tatum. So, anytime you go and attack, the move you make inside the arc really depends on what you see that's in front of you. But a lot of y'all eyes be like this. And if it's not like this, you're only thinking about who's next to you and the person that's guarding you, right? So pay attention. Tatum now, spin move around Siakam. I see Nembhard step over, side step right there, and then now I get to my bucket. Simple as that. Keep your eyes up. You can read what you need to read and make the play that you need to make. You mad at you? Bro, it's not you, Ricky. Ricky, you gotta understand, it's not you. It's 90 like 96% of hoopers. Probably like really like 99%. You know what I'm saying? Probably like 99%. Because it's like 1% of hoopers end up actually going to college from high school or some shit, like 3%. So maybe like if it's like 3%, so like 97%, the ones who aren't really able to get there probably do think in that capacity. And even some of the people who do get there have that mindset, but they just have talent. So I just got to make sure I always deliver that point anytime that point does come across. He said I'm gonna come back to that as soon as they make the finals. That's hilarious, bro. Hilarious. So pay attention, right? Look, I want you to notice this play by the Celtics. So notice this play the Celtics are running right now is so that Jayson Tatum could be able to get this mismatch with TJ McConnell. But think deeper. This is TJ McConnell, right? And so why would you decide to go and run a set where Tatum catches the ball about 35 feet out, 40 feet out, gets a screen on McConnell, and gets pushed to the half court line? He can now no longer take advantage of this mismatch in the way you want to take advantage, which is in the size. And so now what happens? We got 6 left on the shot clock. He's pressuring me at half court. I can't even use my size. I'm now playing a guard game, and I got to try and get into my bag and try to get some shit off. Now, we break it, and we're not really able to get that stop, or we're not able to get that bucket as efficiently as we wanted. But luckily, you do get bailed out, offensive rebound, right? So plays like that, it's like, damn, like, you got to really think about what you're doing. Why not have him catch the mid post, set that screen, have him dribble over, and then get the catch once again, play out the triple threat? You know what I'm saying? But now pay attention to Drew Holiday. Pay attention to Drew. So, you gotta just be careful with it, but I would say you gotta learn how to do the easy shit. I'll keep it that simple. Learn how to do the easy shit. Learn how to do the easy shit. So the easy shit, catch and shoot. Learn the footworks that I'm gonna post in the Discord and the workouts. Learn how to do those footworks. Learn how to get these cuts. Learn how to just get a basic flow. Learn how to just get the opportunities and the looks within the course of the plays that you run, and not always playing like NBA players do, but play according to how some of the role players you see play do. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn how to play in that manner. Because everyone has a role, and even the star players are going to play like a role player at times, where they're not going to be out here like ISOing and doing all that extra stuff, right? They're going to be in that spot at times, and they could all do it. It's just that they have this also ability to do something else on top of all that. So, Cap, you gotta chill, man. You gotta chill. But I want y'all to pay attention to Drew Holiday, right? I'm gonna go full speed for these next few clips. Pay attention, right? So, if you want to blow by defenders, watch Drew Holiday. He goes right, Turner plugs. He brings the ball back out. But now notice who's to his right side. Jayson Tatum, who's going to have no help when he gets into his drive. And so he's able to get there and get that lay for the first time. And now second time around, right? Pay attention. Slip out by Horford. Who's to my left? Jayson Tatum. So what do I do when I attack? I can now get past my defender and end up getting another 2 because I'm attacking the help that's not going to help. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that. And I want to get into this little sequence, right? So pay attention. Pay attention. So the gravity that Tatum has built thus far in the game has now led to Nesmith being in denial of him all the way going to the backcourt, right? So now this allows Drew Holiday to get into the middle of the floor, and they're playing 4-on-4 at this point in time. So really pay attention, right? Pay attention. If you want to go back right quick. If you want to play 4-on-4 and a 5-on-5, this is how you do so. You got Derek White on the left side, and you have Tatum. Most important part is Tatum. He's got Nesmith who's in a denial. So now when you run this 2-man action on this left, who's going to be the person to tag, right? Turner's going to be the one to tag and play help when White attacks, which is now going to leave Horford open on the wing and Jaylen Brown in that corner. You have 2 players you put in the perfect spot so that they cannot go and help, and now you're really playing a 3-on-3. You're playing a 3-on-3 at this point. And so now Horford gets out open 3 from that right wing. And then notice once again, right? We're going to run the same set right back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the thing is, it wasn't broke the first time, but the second time through, we ended up swinging this over to Horford. And let me talk about Jaylen Brown for a second, what he did at the end of this game, right? So it seemed like throughout this fourth quarter, he checked out. Kind of like he was looking like right there, just froze. They didn't know what to do. He gives it up the first time, gets it back. I got Miles Turner. Let me see if I could cook something up. But the only thing he was able to cook up at this point in time, that shit was crack. He was able to cook crack. Ain't cook nothing good. Gets it right back, and now he's from the right wing, and now he takes this shot from 3. Come on, man. You ain't cooked nothing up. You ain't cooked nothing up. But the mental. You need the mental. Where you had a shitty possession like that, where you're able to get nothing, but now we got to make some adjustments going forward. And so now what we do is have Jaylen Brown be the screener. Because now Jaylen Brown, 6'7", 230, he could get the switch on to Halliburton, and they're going to play him single coverage because you don't want to put anybody in rotation with Jayson Tatum off the ball and all the shooters that they got. Spin to this baseline, I get here, cool little pump fake, I get fouled, right? But I also want you to pay attention. He ain't take no free throws right here, but about 1 minute later, Jaylen Brown gets to the line. He's getting himself a couple of free throws off a foul call, right? He knocks down that first one. He's got 20. Mind you, 19 of his points came in the first 3 quarters. That was his first points of this fourth quarter in the last minute of the fourth. So now understand what this rhythm is going to do for him going forward is that he was able to knock down these 2 free throws that he had here with inside a minute. And when it comes down to this play with 8 seconds left, all I needed was the power of those 2 free throws to get some rhythm. So now when we run this set, even though I have not hit a jumper this entire quarter in probably 40 minutes of real time, I get here from this corner, I have some sort of flow, and I'm able to knock that down, bring us to overtime, right? Not even just for that play. I got rhythm. I'm able to get some buckets. Going forward, I'm still able to get buckets in this overtime. Left side, off this handoff with Derek White, I got Tyrese Halliburton now. They playing me single coverage still. They're going to still play me single coverage. Just know this is going to be a bucket every time because Halliburton, he just can't hold me. He don't got the size. Get here, get to that left hand. Y'all thought he ain't have a left? He got that left. He got that left if he ain't Pete. Now Tatum. I want to talk about Tatum as well. What's good? Just finished athletics. Yo, what's good? JB with the left. Hey, it may be a rare sighting for some, but if you watch the season, you know he got that left low key. He low key got that left now. So pay attention. Pay attention to this now with Jayson Tatum. So remember how in that third quarter Tatum was attacking Nembhard? Neesmith fouled out the game. So going forward, how's Tatum going to attack these situations? I'm gonna play downhill. Tyrese Halliburton clears out for a second. I go along this baseline. I smoke that first one, right? Even though I smoked that first one, get right back to me off the sideline out of bounds, couple plays down, right? Back screen right here by Derek White. And now I ended up still having Nembhard, Halliburton, don't matter. Too small, right? Too small. You trying to battle down here, you end up slipping, boom, eat dirt. I get this catch, and when I get this, straight up into my shot. So I'm actually able to go and get myself to the free throw line with the and one, right? And now to end this game off as well, right? Pay attention, because this is where Boston gets so tough to guard, right? I really want y'all to think about this action. Really think about this action, right? You got Tatum on this screen, and now you know you don't want to switch Halliburton on Tatum. I low-key would have, because this might have been your best shot, right? You don't want to switch that. Now Nembhard has to drop and help. Halliburton behind the play. You got Jaylen Brown right here, strong side corner. You got TJ McConnell helping Drew Holiday. Miles Turner weak side with Horford. Who's going to help at this point in time? So Nembhard takes it into his hands, tries to show and stunt, and now spin back, give that to Tatum. Pump fake, reload, shot. Give me that bucket. And what really allowed them to win this game is their ability to execute when it mattered most. When it mattered most. Because when you look at what happened with the Indiana Pacers throughout this game, what happened is their inability at the end of that fourth to even get the ball in bounds, right? Couldn't get the ball in bounds, ended up turning the ball over. Jaylen Brown hit that three, right? But when it comes down to Boston, right, pay attention to Drew Holiday. Sprints out to try and get this catch, doesn't get it. He relaxes, McConnell drops back, I sprint up and get the catch. But now I'm doubled. I got nothing. Even though you may see Jaylen Brown open over here, if you're as the person as they are in real time, Drew Holiday can't see him. So what he does instead, turns and he decides to throw that off Halliburton. Boom, we just take it right back out, right? We playing smart, right? We playing smart now. And now off this inbounds, unfortunately we couldn't see the play. Drew Holiday flashes up to the ball, Nembhard in denial. Now you just throw that to him on that back door. We get that too, and we're actually able to secure this win. Whereas Indiana, they could not execute when it mattered the most. So that's the end of that breakdown. I'm about to slide out. I'm not gonna be able to stream until next Wednesday. So make sure that if y'all not in the Discord, you join the Discord. You make sure you send in your film, you send in your questions. I'm gonna be able to respond while I'm off stream. I'm about to go to my cousin's graduation in Kentucky, so I gotta go drive all the way over there. So I'm about to slide out though. I'm still gonna be active though. I'm still gonna be active. You're gonna see the posts go up. You're gonna see the videos get posted. You're gonna see the clips. You're gonna see me in the Discord, but I just can't stream. So make sure that y'all join the Discord right now, and make sure that y'all also safe travels for sure. I got to. Knowing back doors, Ricky, that's one of them. That's one of the things you gotta know. How to back door, when to cut. Little simple things like that. For me, I just seen space. I see my defender step over. Boom, I cut. I get that too. Unless I'm hot. I'm sitting at that line. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Sitting at that line waiting for that shot. You know what I'm saying? So, whatchamacallit? Tapping on the Discord, bet that. I'm still going to be responding as active as I can. And mind you, I'm about to drop crazy gems. You think I may not be here streaming? And I'm like, damn, he not going to be dropping gems. I'm about to be dropping shit on the story, on the Discord, workouts, a whole bunch of shit. That's like, yo, he not streaming, but he's still dropping gems. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna make sure I tap into a different level of gems when it comes down to being off stream. So make sure that make sure that you sacrifice the present self and invest into your future self and do everything you need to do to get to where you're here to be. So discipline or regret, you choose.